obviously a lot of excitement around it, and it was a fun atmosphere here at the Navy White spring game.
Yeah, definitely. Great atmosphere today. Excited about all the fans that came out, and definitely want to see a great crowd. But today was a success. You know, our number one goal was to come out and compete, stay healthy, which we did, and let the guys, showcase what they're about. And so it's glad to see them get out there and have fun. That's been a theme for us all spring, is to really fall back in love with playing football. And I think watching those guys today, you definitely saw them flying around, having a lot of fun. So all in all, it was a great day, great spring, and we definitely have something to build off of that we can look forward to.
Questions from the room for Coach Simmons.
Want to start with the defenses. Both of them really out there doing their thing. Victor Evans with 2 interceptions, a lot of sacks. Just what you noticed from those units.
Yeah, I thought the defense flied around on both sides. We did a draft format where we allowed the coaches to draft teams and split them up. And so typically when you start spring or when you do things like that, the defense is typically ahead because they're more about playing hard, playing with energy, more so than being in sync. Offensively, you kind of have to get in sync. So when you take an offensive line that's been working together for 14 days and then split them up on different teams, you got quarterbacks throwing the receivers they hadn't thrown to all spring. It can get a little sloppy on the offense. And so I wasn't surprised to see the defense make a bunch of plays, but it was good to see. It was good to see guys like Vic Evans really show up and make some plays. Sadani Gay, a lot of guys that we kind of had not question marks about, but really wanted to see them perform on a big stage, really showed up today and made some plays. So really gives us a lot of confidence in those guys moving forward.
How much would you say your team has grown from the start of the spring up until today?
I think they've grown tremendously. Obviously the first day, just really trying to learn how we operate, how we do things, the tempo at which we practice, the enthusiasm we have to have, the mindset of greatness, right? It's something that we've talked to the guys about over and over again. And so the more we practice, the more we compete, the closer they get to being the team that we ultimately want them to be. So we're not there yet, but thankfully we don't have to be. We have an off-season summer to look forward to. And then obviously training camp is going to be huge for us, 25 days in late July and early August as we get ready for our season opener here at home against Bethune-Cookman. So we got our work cut out for us, but from what I've seen so far from this team, it gives me a lot of optimism.
You mentioned the defense starting ahead. When it comes to offense, right, what did you like to see today in the culmination of how the offense has grown together? And what did you like to see in terms of how they battled adversity? The units are split up. Guys are working with guys that might not be used to, quarterbacks with receivers they might not be used to playing with. Just kind of give a rundown of that.
Well, really, the thing you want to see offensively is that they play clean, fundamentally sound football. So, pre-snap penalties, I think we had one or two. Quarterbacks making quick decisions with the ball. We had some turnovers, some interceptions there. So obviously we'll watch the film and kind of see, what caused those. But really, like I said, early on with an offense, you really want to see you do the little things fairly well. The schematical part, the being in sync, that comes with time and with reps, but it doesn't take reps to stay on side and know the snap count. And so I really just want to see us operate fundamentally sound today. And all in all, I thought the guys did that, but we'll watch the film and assess it, once we get done.
Was there any surprises or players that exceeded expectations that you noticed in today's game?
Well, like I said, defensively, I think we had, 5 interceptions, something like that, a ton of sacks. So, again, Big Evans, showed up and made some big-time plays. I thought D. Hill had a really great interception there right before halftime, made some plays. The D-line got after the guys up front. So there were a lot of individual standouts today on the defensive side. But obviously, on the perimeter, it's easy to see guys stand out, and Big Evans having 2 interceptions was really a highlight of the day.
The wide receiver room is one of the youngest and most inexperienced groups on the roster in terms of the offense. What have you seen in terms of their growth from beginning of the spring until now?
Well, I think Coach Barras has done a great job with those guys of really just, teaching them the tempo at which we play. We want to be a fast team, and we're very multiple in how we line up, moving guys around to different spots. And so really learning the entire offense, not just one position, but really learning conceptually what we do is why I think they've made the most growth. And so, this summer's going to be real huge for that with our OTAs as we go into training camp because, again, an advantage for us has to be our ability to be multiple and cause confusion and mismatches on the defense. And so to see those guys from day 1 to day 15 being able to get lined up, being able to understand concepts has probably been their biggest area of improvement.
Coach, we got to see an extensive amount of Clayton D's as well as some work from Zachary Waters and Shaden Perry. Just talk about what you saw from those quarterbacks and how they have helped you decide who could become the backup for Kewan Jenkins.
Yeah, obviously coming into the spring, you really wanted to solidify a number 2 guy. I think Lights has done a fairly good job of establishing himself as our clear-cut number 1 quarterback. But the old saying, if you don't have 2, you really don't have 1. And so, with Clayton and Chaden, those guys really competing every day, for that number 2 spot. They've all had great moments. Clayton, ability-wise, has a lot of potential. You see him throw the ball really well. He's athletic. He can move. So he's really done a great job of giving himself the best chance at this point to be QB2, and push Lights, to make sure that he doesn't relax a little bit. So, but he's still got to grow. He's still relatively young playing the position. Doesn't have a lot of snaps under his belt in high school playing the position, but the talent's there. And Chaden is a veteran guy, older guy who's been in the fire. So he gives us some security in that regard. But again, Coach Coleman's a tactician, a fundamental coach, and you see the growth that those guys have made over the 15 practices, and so we're excited to see the quarterback room continue to develop.
The Navy team's running back room featured A.J. Allen, Devontae Lyons, and Keyshawn Owens. A lot of anticipation on how that group would perform. Did they talk about what you saw?
Yeah, I thought that the bust of the draft was the white team not selecting one of those 3 guys. So obviously, they were our top 3 backs coming out of the spring, and for all 3 of them to end up on the same team, I got to talk to the general manager of the white team to see what the thought process was. But I thought those guys all had some big time plays today. Obviously you got to see AJ play out wide a little bit, which I thought Coach Coleman did a great job of being able to showcase his ability as a pass catcher. We know what he can do in the backfield. Keyshawn had some big-time runs there in the first half. Second half, I think they kind of rested him a little bit. And, of course, Tate scored the only touchdown of the game. So, we feel really, really good about the running back room, the depth that those guys have. Coach Dub, Coach Hippolyte, he's doing an amazing job of one, pushing those guys every day, and making them be unselfish. And that's the toughest thing when you have a loaded running back room, is making sure they're unselfish and not worried about how many touches they're getting or who carries the ball the most. They all support one another, they push one another, and they make each other better. So coming out of the spring, I definitely say the strength of our offense is the running back room with those 3 guys.
Heading into the summer, what's the biggest thing you want to see build upon in terms of foundation with the entire team? What's the major thing that once you guys come back for summer camp that you want to put the emphasis on and want to see the entire team respond to?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing that the team grows in the summer is leadership. As coaches, we're allowed to do more now than we ever have with OTAs, whereas in the past, coaches couldn't really have much on-field interaction with the players. Now we can. So, but it's still really a time that the players get to lead. They get to run their own 7-on-7s. They get to do things when we're, out on vacation. And so I really want to be able to see who steps up as a leader once we get back in late July, because somebody other than Lights has to be a leader. Somebody other than Keegan Davis on the defensive side has to be a leader. Our ability to be a good football team this year is really going to be dependent on how many guys we have that can lead. And so the summer is really going to be critical for that. They'll all be here. And so I really look forward to seeing who steps up and takes that role, that bull by the horn, to say that it's my time and not wait to be appointed a leader, but really takes the initiative to do it themselves.
Speaking of leadership, how would you say throughout the course of spring practice each individual person has really, how has their leadership grown and how will that carry over into the fall season?
Well, the first thing I'd say about leadership is the ability to lead yourself. And so really just seeing who has the discipline every day to come out with enthusiasm, with energy, to have the mindset to be the best that they can be. And once they establish that, the teammates see the consistency in that, then they can start to lead others. And so that's really what I look for more than anything else. Instead of trying to really push guys to be leaders right now, I'm really observing to see who has the mindset and the temperament to be a leader. And we have some guys that have shown that ability. So, again, the summer will be critical in continuing to develop that. We'll have our kind of leadership summit that we'll do with our guys to have them read up on leadership, to put them in positions to be leaders, and things of that nature. But again, we have some guys who have the ability to do it. They just haven't really been pushed quite yet, but we'll start doing that a little bit more now that spring ball is over.
I think it was 0 for 4 with the field. Was just, what do you attribute to that? Do you think it's just maybe the wind or just what is that?
Yeah, so this is our first time kicking inside the stadium. So no excuses, but those guys are used to kicking on the practice field. Obviously the wind is a little bit different there. Our scrimmages have been obviously out at other parks. And so just them getting used to kicking in the stadium with the wind. Noah has a huge leg, as we all saw. I mean, a couple of his kickoffs went deep into the end zone. Same with Stone. And so, Robert, the thing is, obviously in the stadium, the higher the ball is, the more the wind can take it, right? Because we don't have high stands on both sides to really block the wind. And so the more we're in the stadium, those guys can get used to that, the better they'll be. They both have the ability to kick for us. I'm not concerned at all with the missed field goals because, again, the more we're in the stadium, which we will be a lot more once we get back in training camp. So those guys will be a weapon for us, and I'm pretty sure we'll knock the majority of those things through in the season.
Awesome. A couple questions for Coach.
Just talk about the linebacker room. I know you guys lose, the CUSA Defensive Player of the Year, but you still have Percy Courtney, who got a couple starts towards the end, and Josiah Taylor, who had the interception today. Just talk about that room.
Yeah, I thought the linebacker group throughout the spring probably made the most improvement as a group. Percy really came on the second half of the spring. Every day in practice, he was showing up and making plays, whether they're sacks, whether they're tackles for loss, plays on the ball on the second level, being a Tampa dropper in the deep middle of the field. I mean, he's a very athletic guy, high energy. Really looking forward to seeing him continue to develop within this defense. Josiah got the most improved award for good reason. He's a guy that first part of the spring, you didn't really hear his name called a lot. And then all of a sudden, you turn the film on and there's 35 again. And that's what you want to see. We kind of had an idea of what Johnny Chaney, is, being that we had him at Florida A&M for 3 years. But again, he's continuing to play really well. And then even Dwight Nunu, so we feel really good about those 4 guys. Much like the depth that we have at running back on offense, we feel we have that quality depth on the defensive side at linebacker. So, it gives us some stability going into the season, that we can now focus on the front end D-line to make sure that we have the depth there. But linebacker-wise, we feel really good about those guys, and Coach Smith has done an amazing job with their development.
I think you touched on it. Just what were your thoughts on the draft strategies now you being commissioner?
Yeah, we've done this. I think this is my 3rd or 4th year doing the draft, and every year there are a couple of head scratchers. And like I said, for me, the head scratcher was not taking the backs. So I sat here, every time I got a sheet and opened it up and saw, Devontae's name not on the white team's draft, I kind of scratched my head and wondered what their strategy was. I almost kind of went David Stern when he blocked the Chris Paul trade to the Lakers a while back. I'm a huge Laker fan. I'm still upset about that because Kobe would have won probably 3 more championships. But yeah, I wanted to walk into the white team's room and say, hey, draft Devontae right now. But other than that, I thought the guys they had fun with it. The thing that I loved to see was just the enthusiasm of our players. They celebrated the 40th pick just as much as they did the first pick. And that's the mark of a true team, that they're starting to understand that we celebrate all of our successes. And, so it's something that we started doing a few years back, but it's really taken off. And the guys, the toughest thing is that you actually have to have practice the next day. And it was kind of hard to go out on Thursday and focus on practice because all they wanted to talk about was the draft and where they got selected. And some guys took it personal. Keegan Davis took it really personal that he wasn't one of the first 2 or 3 picks, even though he was like number 10. It really hurt his feelings. So, you learn a lot about your players. You learn a lot about the coaches and how they think. But no, I've gotten a lot of positive feedback from our fans, those that were able to look in on it on Instagram Live. And shout out to Hunter and his team, for coming in and live streaming it, man. They do an amazing job. And as much publicity as we've gotten this spring has been a testament to their work and what they do. So everybody's working extremely hard to make this thing go. And that's what successful programs are all about. And I'm blessed to be at a place that everybody cares about our overall success. And we're looking forward to making all that come true in this fall.
We all good with Coach?
Sir.
All right. All right. So we are here with Alex Perry following FIU football's Navy White spring game. Just an opening statement, Alex, about kind of how you played, kind of what you were seeing out there, and the opportunity to put the pads on and play some real football.
Yeah, it's been very exciting just to be at spring ball all for the 4 weeks, and for it to come down to one final game. It was definitely very exciting and a good atmosphere out there and a good turnout with all the fans. So it was good to put on a show for sure.
And we'll just open it up now to questions for the room.
Just what was it like being, what's it like being back here, home city for you? I know you were in Hawaii for a bit.
Right.
Just being back here, playing, I guess, was great for you.
Yeah, playing in Hawaii was great, but it's nothing like home. So getting back out here, you know, the hot weather, the humidity, just the same family-like friends out watching you play, and my family just being able to take a drive up here just to see a spring game is great, you know, because in Hawaii they definitely wouldn't buy a plane ticket just to see a spring game, so that's definitely fun for me.
For you, just how much would you say you grew from the start of the spring up until today?
I definitely grew a lot. Learning a new playbook, it was kind of hard for me, but throughout the spring and a lot of reps with my quarterback and the coaches, it definitely slowed down for me a lot after the first couple of days, and I was able to show what I could do during the spring.
What was your connection like today with Clayton? He was targeting you a lot.
Yeah. It was great. It was great with Clayton. Usually I'm with Lights a lot, but you know, due to the draft, we had to split up teams. But he came through and he performed how he was supposed to today.
Building upon that with your usage in the scheme, you know, the offense found a way to get you the ball in a variety of ways. How did you feel being utilized in different ways throughout this game and the spring?
I definitely love being utilized in different ways just because at Hawaii I was primarily an outside guy. We wouldn't really switch sides of the field a lot, so it's fun being put in the slot to run a certain route or going back to the outside or just lining up anywhere where I can make a play is the difference in this offense, so I'm definitely having fun with that.
And then in addition to that, you know, as we head toward the summer, as we head toward the regular season, what's the main thing that you want to focus on so that when you get back here in the summer, you can hit the ground running and show even more growth than what you've already been able to show this spring?
I think during the summer, the main thing for me is just to get more and more time in with Lights on certain throws. Just you can never get enough reps with your quarterback, and I could probably work some more on conditioning. Being in Florida, you know, it's a difference from Hawaii a lot, so I definitely got to get back to the used to the Florida heat for sure.
Talk about some of the other receivers you were able to work with today.
Okay, yeah, so you mean like just on the team or just everybody? Yeah, so we had Saquon out there and McGuire Anderson, he makes a lot of plays that might surprise you. He doesn't seem like the most athletic or anything, but when he gets out there and the ball's in the air, he goes and gets it. They definitely blocked well. The other team had a lot of good receivers too, but I think our receivers, we knew the game plan better and we executed it today.
Both defenses made some excellent plays in this game. Talk about what the white team was, how they were challenging you guys today, and how were you guys able to make it work in the end there?
Yeah, they were playing a lot of cloud coverage, which is kind of like a double team in a way, but it opened up the run a lot for us, so that was a big thing today for us. And they definitely had a good defense out there, and it was tough to get the passing game going due to their dropping back so much, but it was okay. It was okay at the end.
Can you talk about a little bit how like playing with a mixture of kind of starters and guys that are going to be kind of more depth guys this year could kind of help you as a player when you're really being focused on, like you were saying?
Right. Yeah, that could definitely help a lot just for the guys that maybe won't be in a lot on Saturdays, just for them to get extra reps, because you never know who could go down and you might have to count on that person. So that's why I wasn't really that upset about not being with Lights today, because Lights might go down and I might need Clayton one day. So he stepped up big, and so did the receivers in line today for sure.
That's a good mentality. And then Kiwan's obviously last two top targets, the past 2 seasons with him as a starter, have broken school records and put up outstanding seasons. Does that just excite you for what that kind of connection could be in the fall?
It definitely excites me, and with the new coaching staff, along with Lights, I think nothing's going to be impossible this year. I think the sky's the limit for us.
What's it been like working with Coach Barasa?
He's great. He's from down here, so me and him, we click a lot. He's a taller receiver, so he gets how I move. He gives me the right pointers and stuff that I need to. So as a receiver, you would definitely like a coach that's your same size and can relate to you. So it's been great working with him.
Look back on the spring. You know, what was your favorite moment with your teammates, and then adding on top of that, what are you looking forward to the most in terms of just everything in general for the summer?
So the spring, my favorite moment with my teammates, it'll probably be the rattle the cage drills. More so the 2-point conversion when we will do it in the rattle the cage, just because that's the whole team. You know, we're around. The coaches create a great atmosphere for us. So that really gets me going, and that's probably my favorite part of spring practice. But I'm just excited for what the season has to come. Just to get a Conference USA championship, that's the main goal for sure.
Final questions for Alex.
How did the competition within your position group help you to improve this spring practice and even in this game?
Yeah, so we got a younger group of receivers. So the task on me coming into the spring was just to be a better leader. So yeah, they helped me grow in that spot a lot. Just teaching them some pointers any way I can to get them better, and they also helped me a lot just by keeping me going and giving me pointers that I might need, also things that I might not see. So the receiver group was definitely a good mix to spring ball for sure.
Good with Alex? Thank you, Alex.
I mean, it was just everybody else doing their job. D-line making it easy for me. I just got to do my job. Everything came to me. I didn't have to force nothing. Just did my job. Everything came to me.
What you see on those two interceptions?
2 interceptions. I'm just cover two, sinking back. Coach told me to stop. Well, my teammate communicated to me, watch the corner route, and he threw it straight to the corner route, straight into my hand. And the second one, I messed up at first, but then I got back. Ball came straight into my hands. Just doing my job.
Is it more fun to intercept the quarterback from the other team or to intercept the quarterback that's actually on your team?
Intercept the quarterback. It was fun intercepting Keywan, but it would be better intercepting the other team.
How much would you say you've grown from the start of the spring up until now?
I would say I've grown a lot. And I would say it's a lot from Coach Gator and just everybody in the corner room pushing me. Like, I know that I can't just come in here and just slack. I know somebody behind me could take my spot any day if I'm not on my stuff.
You've been really showing it, like an aggressive mentality in terms of how you're approaching playing, whether it's coming down making tackles, making plays on the ball. What goes in that mentality for you as a defensive back and specifically a ball hawking defensive back?
Just knowing that it's a narrative on corners that corners don't like to tackle, so they're gonna try us. They're gonna try to come to the perimeter, screens, runs. So I just got to show them that I'm willing to pull up and tackle. All of us willing to pull up and tackle, all of the corners.
Throughout spring practice and even knowing that the season is just a couple months away, how do you personally stay motivated through all these practices and through workouts?
Just knowing what we're working for. Like, every day we remind ourselves, like, what we're working for. We're trying to get a conference championship, at least. We want to go to the playoffs, but every day we just got to remind ourselves what we're working on. That keep us motivated.
As soon as the rosters were set, who were some of the playmakers on their offense that you guys prioritize could be some of the biggest troublemakers for your defensive unit?
Eric Nelson, Kyle, Jordan Clemens, all the running backs play. They had a lot of playmakers. We was worried about everybody basically. There's the guys in the slot too, Samaj and Andre Brown, fast.
When Jaden Perry stepped in for a little bit, did the defense sort of change their game plan for taking him onto the key one, or was it more the same?
Same game plan. Don't take everybody different. I mean, they're both different hands, so maybe more roll out to the right, but it was mostly the same thing.
How much would you say you guys have grown?
I'll say we're going a lot. We come more together as a family. More people just playing with more energy. Everybody running to the ball. Nobody really taking plays off.
Anything specifically you're going to work on now during the summer before you get back with the team?
Just keep getting bigger, just trying to be more physical.
It's kind of like working with Coach Gator.
It's great working with Coach Gator. He got energy every day, no matter what he going. If he going through something, you won't even know. He comes same energy every day. If you mess up, he gonna let you know. When he was on the other team, he talking to me the whole game. Like, since the draft, he was going at it with me, Ashton, and Raheem the whole week. So it's great energy with Coach Gator.
As you head toward the summer, right, what are you most excited about? And then looking back on the spring, what's been your favorite moment with your teammates or just in general from the spring?
Just practice. Practice has been more fun and competitive. Like, I just feel like it's more, we just having fun playing now. It's just competing every day. Our receivers are great. Like, every day they're giving us work.
You say that it's been competitive. How would you say the competition in your position group has helped you to prepare for this game and then future games to come?
The position in competition in our group is just, I started off spring with the ones, then I have a bad day. Now I'm with the twos, so it's like I see, it's not just my position. I got to work for it. So every day I just got to come on my stuff.
What was Gator's reaction when you had the interception?
He was salty because, he was on the other team. I brought the ball to him, talking in his face, and I went to talk to him after the game. He was laughing about it.
Do you feel the coaching staff has prepared you for any challenges that are yet to yourself as a person and a player?
Yeah, I feel like this coaching staff, they talk to us a lot about not just football, but life, school. Like, they prepare me for a lot, like everything in life. It's deeper than just football with this coaching staff.
Any more questions for Victor? All right, appreciate
Thank you.